Hello, welcome to
All
another
right.
episode of the Bigotti Brothers podcast. So before we start, I'm gonna start plugging our socials right now. So we're on Facebook, Twitter,
Yep.
Blue Sky, TikTok, and YouTube, and also we're on every podcast platform you can imagine. So please give us a like, give us a subscribe, and check us out. Thanks.
All
All
right.
right, we took a little break, but we're
Yep.
back. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Right.
How was your holidays, man?
Holidays were great. It's pretty chill. Kind of miss the revelry in the Philippines.
It's
I saw
probably
some
still going on.
it's like a war zone, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. For those who don't know, right, the Philippines celebrates these things really early.
Yeah.
I was there. I was there. I think I was there last year. I was home last year, and then I my kid was just surprised that Christmas lights were on.
Uh-huh.
This was September.
September, yeah. Mhm.
She was surprised and just seeing all that, and but yeah, it's a good thing, right? They just
Mhm.
have that kind of spirit in there.
Yeah. Mhm.
For me, it's not. Christmas is weird here in this part of the world. I don't know if you know, but right now it's summer for us,
Mhm.
so it's really hot.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not. It's not. It doesn't get really cold in here during Christmas. It's really.
Mhm.
It's warm. So
It's
it's
more.
summer.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing, but hey, it's a holiday
It's holiday,
nonetheless.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
had fun,
Yeah,
right?
it's
But
cool. Cool, cool.
watching a lot of basketball. And speaking
Yeah.
of which, a lot of things
Mhm.
happened with our Lakers. So the first big thing is, hey, D'Angelo's
Trade.
finally gone. So D'Lo's been traded along with Max Lewis and I believe a second round pick, a couple of
The
second
second
round
rounder,
picks
yeah.
for Dorian Finney-Smith and
Shake
Shake Milton.
Shake Milton.
So
Mhm.
you've watched the game so far.
Yeah.
What do you think about the trade and what's your take on it?
I first saw the Cleveland game, and probably the two new guys were probably just kind of testing the waters, and we dropped that game to well, Garland was on fire that
Yeah, it
game.
was.
The Jared Allen was a beast, and it kind of threw us off, and then we played Portland, beat the Blazers, and then we had a really good game last night against the Hawks, where
Yeah.
we got a taste of some vintage LeBron. You get into him later, but
We
yeah,
gotta get into that, yeah, for sure. We
yeah,
gotta talk about
yeah,
that. So obviously the big get here is that they needed a two-way wing, right?
right,
And that's why they went for Finney Smith. And
yeah,
stats wise, obviously, as you mentioned, he's getting there, but
Mhm.
the potential of him being in this lineup has really made the defense a lot better because he's the guy who
oh
can
yeah,
guard 1 to 5
yeah,
and he can shoot the threes, which is what's needed in this kind of team. And
yep.
I think that right now, although he's on the bench, he's eventually going to start, I believe.
He's gonna start.
So,
Yeah, I think.
yeah, I think they have to start him.
Yeah,
He's probably going to be their starting three, which
Mhm.
means that Rui will get pushed out, either get pushed out or he might get traded. This
yeah,
because they still have some moves to make, right? So they
oh yeah.
still need.
Mhm.
I think that they still need someone to help AD down
They
low.
still need that, yeah, that help down low, that bruiser, garbage cleaner type
Yeah,
player.
but the thing is, there's not a lot of guys really available right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
So I mean, you got
uh
Jonas Valanciunas from the Wizards. I think there was been some reports that he's there if the Lakers want him.
hmm
He's already. They probably have a deal lined up
yeah.
if they really want him. But if they're doing their due diligence, and he shouldn't be the first option because number one, he doesn't really play defense. He's more of a post up guy on the
He's supposed
block.
to play
Yeah,
rebounder. Yeah.
he's gonna be affecting the spacing that they have in there.
hmm
So that's probably why they're kind of holding back on pulling the trigger.
hmm
And there's also Robert Williams, which is that's the guy you want. Although he's an undersized center, but he's
Yeah.
that defensive presence that you want. But he's always
He's
injured.
tough. Yeah.
He's always injured. He's tough inside, but he's
Yeah.
always hurt. And that's the catch. Do you really want to use your array of assets to get these guys? Probably not. I
Not probably
mean,
not. Yeah.
I think they should go for Kessler from the Jazz,
Oh,
but
Walker Kessler. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Walker
No.
Kessler. But the problem there is that, well, number one, Danny Ainge will probably try to fleece them. Danny Ainge will
Mhm.
not give them the best deal,
Yeah,
and that might cost a lot. And do you
yeah,
really want to spend your? He's gonna ask for picks for sure. Do you really want to spend that right now for someone who's one dimensional and who really needs someone to set up his offense for him? I'm not sure.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, as much as I want them to make another move, this is probably gonna be. I think this is probably gonna be their roster moving forward, unless they can get someone from the buyout market soon.
Hmm.
So we'll see. But they've been playing really well recently. So
Hmm.
one of the things that happened prior to the holidays was they got stomped in Miami, right?
Yeah,
So they got really embarrassed in
they got
Miami,
yeah
and
they got blown out by like 41.
41, yeah,
Yeah,
41, and then they've been really good. They've been really
yeah.
good the last 9 games, as you mentioned, with the Hawks game,
Hmm.
the Blazers game. Even though they lost the Cleveland game, they've had a good record, right?
Yeah, yeah. Wait, they beat after after LeBron took a break. They kind of won a couple games, I think. Then they had that really big Christmas Day win against the Warriors. Yeah.
Yep. So
I just gotta look
yeah,
back at the schedule again. Yeah, but
no, they've been
yeah,
they've
they've
been
been
they've been
playing
good.
well.
So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
went. So after that Miami game, LeBron took, I think, 10, 10 games off. So sorry, 10 days off. That's also because of the NBA Cup scheduling.
Mhm.
So they had a huge gap in the schedule, and they got LeBron some rest basically,
Yeah.
and then they came back with a vengeance. So since LeBron came back, post his rest, they've been 7-2, including those wins
Seven
that
and
you've
two.
discussed. They've been seven
Yeah.
and two in the last games.
Yeah.
They're now 20-14 overall,
Hmm.
first in the Pacific
First of the
Division,
Pacific. Yes.
fourth in the Western Conference.
Hmm.
They're 2 games behind Houston right now,
Yep.
and LeBron has been playing out of his mind.
Yeah. What's his stats right now? LeBron is averaging 28.7 points, 6.2 rebounds, 8.4 assists. That's vintage LeBron right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy at 40 years
Yeah.
old. He's averaging those. Plus, the
Hmm.
thing about this is his three is falling. He's making 47% of his threes right now in
Yeah.
that span. So after he came back, got his legs back probably.
Shooting
Went
54%, 54 overall.
54%. Yeah,
Yeah, 54 overall, 47 from three. Yeah. 80
81% from free throws.
from
That's
free
really
throws.
good, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what he did. I don't know if he just took a rest, went to Miami, got some steroids, whatever. But he's come back really good. I mean, if you've watched him in the last 9 games, you've seen that he's actually trying on defense now.
Yeah.
He's back. He's back. And
He's making the effort, yeah.
he's back. And apart from that, the biggest impact of it is that his energy has affected the whole team.
Yeah.
So the drawback that we talked about before was that when he's lethargic, everyone's lethargic,
Yeah.
right? But when he's
Yeah,
engaged,
it's attitude reflects, the leadership.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right. And then once he's engaged, everyone is engaged. Austin has been playing really well as well, right?
Yeah.
So Austin has been really.
Austin
I,
Reeves was just it's he's like a new player ever since we've been on him the whole season for not playing as well as he did like the last 2 years, but ever since I think he hit that game winner against Golden State, it's been
he's
going
been
up for
great.
him. Yeah.
I,
Mhm. It's
after
the
after
headband.
D'Angelo, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's the
After
headband. Yeah.
after D'Lo got traded, he's essentially become the point guard
Yeah.
now. He's the point
Yeah.
guard. So, and his numbers reflect that. He's been averaging 8 assists in the last 9 games as well. He is that point guard. His offense has kind of fluctuated left and right. There have been games where he's been locked up, but the playmaking has been consistent. He's
Mm.
getting inside, making the right play,
Yeah.
getting those passes out, and people are making their shots, and no one
Right.
has made a lot more out of this opportunity than Max Christie.
Ooh.
Max
Career
Christie
high
has
28 points
yeah.
against Portland.
So he's essentially so what the Lakers have needed this whole time is a 3 and D guy,
Yeah.
right? So they got Finney
And
Smith
we got
one,
DFS, yeah.
yes,
3 and D. Max
and
Christie.
Max has emerged as that guy.
Yeah.
So he's their starting two guard right now. So assuming they don't
Hmm.
make any changes, he's probably going to be in there in the starting lineup for good.
Yeah. I think
And
he's finding his niche in the system, you know.
yeah, he's not forcing shots.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Yeah.
The weakness that he had at the start was he's gonna take the ball sometimes and go crazy. He's gonna sauce some guy up and fail. But right now, as you mentioned, he's found his role. Right, he's out there making the smart play, cutting in the right spaces, and when he gets the ball,
Hmm.
he's been making them, and that's what you need from him. And obviously, the defense that he's providing, he's become
Yeah.
the primary point of attack defender for this team.
Right.
So if you notice, he's
Mhm.
always guarding the best offensive guy in the other team, and
Yeah.
that's good. He's 6'5" with a good wingspan, and he's shown that he's doing the work defensively now.
Hmm. Yeah.
So these are the last 9 games. Obviously, they've been good. We're kind of a little bit closer to halfway of the
Yeah.
season.
Hmm.
Well, the schedule kind of looks nice, isn't it?
Schedule looks pretty good. Okay, so schedule wise, their next opponent is the Rockets in Houston,
Okay.
and then they're playing the Mavs without Luca, probably. Yeah. Then after that, it's like Hornets, Spurs twice, Heat, Nets, Clippers, Wizards, and then the real test comes when they face the Celtics
All right.
and yeah, and the Warriors.
So those are next 10 games. Those are the next 10 games, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So assuming that they're 2 games behind Houston right now,
Hmm.
that game against the Rockets,
That's
this
crucial.
which is their next one,
That's a
is
crucial
gonna be big.
game.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be big if they want to get up.
Yep.
So they have a real possibility, I believe, that to get to the second seed after this whole 10 game run is over.
Yeah.
So obviously you got a lot of home games in there. So they're gonna be really chilling at home and having that home court advantage with the
Right.
rest as well.
Hmm.
Which LeBron has shown that the more rest he has at this point, the more success they're probably gonna have.
Yeah.
So if they win out, look, I don't want to. I think it's gonna be a tough game against the Rockets. They're gonna have their hands full with that one, but the Rockets
Yeah.
are beatable.
Mhm.
The Rockets are very beatable. They can probably get that done.
Yeah.
You think?
As long as I mean, the thing with Houston is I gotta highlight this. It's the Dylan Brooks LeBron James rivalry.
Yeah,
You know, just don't let the dude get into your head, bro. That's all.
that's right. And they have a good twin tower setup as well, right? So Shengun
Yeah.
and I believe Jabari Smith.
Sengun, yeah, Jabari Smith. Fred Van Vliet's healthy. Is he healthy?
Yeah, he's healthy.
Yes, okay,
So
yeah.
they have a solid lineup in there, and
Yeah,
obviously
Jalen
Ime Udoka
Green.
is not a pushover
Yeah.
as a coach.
Yeah.
So if they can get through this, so assuming that they get through the Rockets, right? So
Mhm.
that kind of leaves the door open, right? They
Yeah.
might not lose until they face the Celtics, if that's the case.
Yeah. Hopefully, that's what
You
we're
know,
banking on. You know.
Right? So essentially, if you're looking at the odds,
Mhm.
the odds are they win most of these games apart from the Rockets and the Celtics. Right? So that takes them 8-2. That's gonna make them 15-4 in the last 19,
Yeah.
and that's gonna propel them to second seed more or less. Because I believe that the Grizzlies and Rockets played twice in that span too.
Yeah. Let's say they beat the Rockets. The Rockets dropped to 22-13. and we go up to 21-14. That leaves us exactly a game behind Houston.
Yeah, and as I said, they play the Grizzlies twice.
Yeah.
So that's you can hope for a split there, which
Hmm.
takes the Rockets down as well. So
Right.
the Lakers may end up with the second seed or the third seed or the 14th when this is done. And
Yeah.
have you? I wasn't expecting this at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Given the fact that LeBron is in his advanced age, which we're gonna talk about in a bit,
Mm.
but this schedule has been a godsend for them, given the
Right.
fact that they can afford to get some rest.
Yeah. Hmm. Yep. And how many games out of the schedule are home games? Like
The
out of the next
10,
12, like eight,
yeah,
eight,
six of
eight of them
those,
are home.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
They have
the list you just mentioned, there's most of them are at home. Yeah,
the Spurs. The Spurs back-to-back games are both home.
yeah,
I see, yeah,
they're at
I
home
see they're both home.
more or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 game homestand. So that's
They're at
that.
home.
That should be a good. That should be a. We should be looking at like a, yeah, five game winning streak there.
Well,
You know.
technically in that span they face the Clippers as well, so
Yeah.
they might.
Oh, it's also a home, which is
It's
technically a home
technically
game.
a home game.
Yeah.
They're in LA, right? They don't
Yeah.
need to go to a hotel or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the only out of state game in that span are the Texas games,
The
basically.
Texas games. That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're at home. Warriors is essentially at
Uh-huh.
home as well. It's just a quick flight, right?
Mm.
So they're essentially just in California the rest of the way.
Right.
So it's definitely winnable, I believe. Do you want to make prediction,
Definitely.
or what do you think? Let's make a prediction in here.
12
What's going
games
to be the Lakers record after those 10 games are done?
after this. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, after this, until the Celtics game. 8-2.
You think 8-2 is a
8-2.
possibility there?
8-2. Yeah.
I'll go out on a limb and say they win everything except the Celtics game.
Except the Celtics game.
I'll go nine
Yeah.
and one. I'll go 9-1.
You
That's
go
fine.
9-1.
That's our prediction. Okay, cool.
Okay. They might drop. I don't know. They might drop one of the Spurs games.
Wemby's playing out of his mind too, so that's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
be a
yeah.
problem.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they've done well against the Spurs this year, so
Mhm.
that might be something that is manageable as long as AD is healthy, of course.
Yep.
So he's been. They can. I think they can handle the Spurs and the Heat. Obviously, Jimmy's. We're gonna get into Jimmy in a bit,
Yeah.
but that's the Heat are done. Basically, they essentially should tank at this point. We'll
Yeah.
get that. We'll get to
Yeah.
that in a bit. Well, let's talk about LeBron for a minute. I know that
Right.
we've criticized him rightfully as well, but
Mhm.
we gotta give him his flowers, right? So
You give him credit. You know, credit's due for the way he's been playing the last, what, the last few games ever since he came back from his
yeah,
rest.
he's been great as mentioned, right? So this is vintage. What we're seeing, it's
Yeah.
as far as the numbers go, this is vintage LeBron, right? Obviously, the play style has drastically changed
Right.
from bulldozing. He's making a lot more threes now, which is great.
Mhm.
That I remember that was the biggest knock in his game when he first
Yeah.
came in.
The three
But
fifth.
that his shooting was abysmal. But
Yeah.
he's that's gone now.
Yeah.
He might
He's
not be able
shooting-
to drive to the hole as much, but he's able to hit the shots now.
He's shooting 47% from three the last few games. Even better than than I don't know who's number one in percentages right now with threes.
I think it was Steve Kerr last I checked. I'm not sure.
No, no, like
But
like
but
for
either
the
way,
season, for the season.
either way, 47%
Yeah.
is crazy, man.
Yeah,
It's crazy. 47% of he's shooting volume threes as well. He's not shooting 3 or 4 threes. I think he's up to 6 or 7 threes a
6,
game,
yeah.
and he's making almost half of those.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. No matter how you look at it, his
Yeah.
shooting is definitely not a weakness anymore at this point. It might
Yeah.
be on and off, but he's shown to be able to make it now. I think as long
Yeah.
as long as he has his legs under him, he's gonna make that. I
Yeah,
have
so
full
I'm looking
confidence in
at
it.
the season leaders in 3-point percentage. Jokic is number one, 47.9. So he's up there.
He's there.
He's up there. Yeah.
This is not normal what he's doing.
No, yeah.
Okay, so whatever he did during that rest, I think he should just do it every day because it's obviously working. It's obviously working.
Yeah.
He's playing the best stretch of basketball in this season. Obviously, he had that slow start where we all thought he was done,
Yeah.
but he's just proved that it's not the case anymore. He has shown that he can adapt to the situation when it comes to his body because
Yeah.
obviously that's the thing about growing old. We know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I think as long as he can keep this up, the Lakers have a good chance.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go back to the fact that they did make some changes in the roster,
hmm
although it's a marginal one at this point. Dorian Finney-Smith is they didn't give up a lot, right? So they only
No.
give up their biggest contract,
Yeah.
the biggest tradable contract that they have in D'Lo. They gave up Maxwell
Max
Lewis,
Lewis.
who's out of the rotation.
Yeah.
They gave up a couple, I believe, two or three. I'm not
Second
sure
rounders.
about the number right now. 2 or 3 second
Yeah.
round picks. The price is not that high, right?
No.
So
Yeah.
they are essentially saving their assets for something else. They still have 2 tradable first round picks.
Yep.
Okay, so they still have that. They have the contracts of Gabe Vincent, Jared
Oh, yeah.
Vanderbilt, who hasn't played this year.
Right.
We can talk about him in a bit. And obviously Rui, I believe, is making a lot of money as well. So they're 3 million. One of the things that wasn't highlighted in that Nets trade is that they're now 3 point something million below the second apron.
hmm
So they have a lot of room to make more moves now if they wanted to. Now, with LeBron playing this way, the question kind of becomes, what do you do with all these assets now? Are you gonna make a big splash to kind of enhance the chances of winning now, or are you in the mindset of let's save these assets for the future when LeBron retires? Because
Yeah.
again, we don't know where he's gonna go, but it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Is it worth blowing all that now?
Like emptying the tank for
Just
him.
empty the
basically?
tank now. Are you willing to make a big trade right now to bring in someone or some more people? Essentially, exhaust your assets. You can essentially say, future sucks, whatever. I don't want to think about that. I want to think about what's now.
Yeah.
It's essentially a win now situation. Are you comfortable in doing that if you're the Lakers?
Personally, I would be comfortable, like emptying the tank and pulling off a big move, but um, knowing management, I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna do it little by little. Still gonna build around this core of LeBron and AD. Who AD is gonna become a free agent in a few years, so I think they're still gonna make little moves here and there just to kind of make that roster fit around LeBron.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So right now, LeBron is on a 1+1 contract, right? So
Yep.
he has a player option for the next season after this,
Yep.
and obviously we've made the prediction on the show that he retires after next year, which is
After
year
next year,
23,
yeah.
right? That's our prediction. But
Yep.
hypothetically speaking, let's see if let's kind of discuss the scenario we're in. He does play after year 23. So what if he? And this is another what if, right now, small what if.
Yeah.
We can move to the other bigger ones in a future episode. But
Yep.
what if LeBron does play after year 23? So the most possible scenario right now is that. So obviously I believe he's gonna exercise his player option. So he's gonna decline it. He's gonna become a free agent after this year is over,
Right.
and he's gonna go sign another 1+1. He's gonna sign another one for 2025-26, and he's with a player option for 26-27.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be if he's gonna stay on. That's probably what's likely gonna happen,
Hmm.
especially if he keeps producing like this.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because check this out. His other son, he has another son, right? He has another
Bryce
son,
James. Yep.
Bryce James. Okay, so Bronny's kind of been lost in the ether right now because he's just um, obviously everyone's seen the negatives and all
He's
that,
trying to find
but
his way,
yeah,
in the
you
league.
know,
He's trying to
just
find
let the
his
kid be,
place.
right?
Yeah.
Let the kid be, right?
Yeah.
I think he's doing well in the G League, which
Hmm.
where he belongs right now.
Yeah.
He's been on a tear there, and good for him, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's just an NBA caliber rotational player at this point,
Hmm.
and probably won't be.
Hmm.
But his brother actually, if you've seen the clips, right, he's a lot more offensively gifted
He's
than
taller. He's
Bronny.
offensive. He's more gifted offensively. More versatile, I think.
He's not as rated. I think Bronny
Yeah.
was a 5-star recruit.
Hmm.
If I have 4 5 star, but Bryce is 3 star.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. The news, if you look at it, Bryce James just committed to Arizona.
Right.
Okay, for
Yeah.
college. Now,
Wildcats.
yeah, he's a Wildcat. He's gonna be a Wildcat in the coming 2025-26
Yeah.
season. Now,
Hmm.
is he gonna be a one and done player? Is he gonna stay in college uh, for 1 year and get drafted? Let's assume that he's probably gonna go the same
He's
route as
probably gonna
his.
go one and done. Yeah.
Let's assume that's gonna be the case. Assuming that
Hmm.
I believe this all rests on the fact that if Braun can play at this level he's playing now,
Hmm.
right? So if we are to assume that, then it's probably gonna be safe to assume that Bryce is gonna go one and done as well
Yeah.
and be drafted in 2026.
Right.
Now, here's the possible scenarios there. As we mentioned, his
Hmm.
father will have a possible player option at that time. He's going to be
Right.
a free agent, even if LeBron takes the option for next year, that his contract's going to run out.
Hmm.
LeBron's going to be a free agent in 2026 most likely.
Yeah.
Now, have you had a look at who else is in that free agent list?
Yeah. Damian
So,
Lillard, Kevin Durant.
who else? Who else is going to be there?
Let me see who else is gonna be there. 2026. We
So
got
KD's one. Yep, sure.
really
You got
interesting.
Dame, right?
Bradley Beal,
I don't want him. He's trash. Okay.
Jimmy Buckets,
Oh, okay.
uh, Zach Levine,
Okay. Wow.
Trey Young, Luka Doncic, Fred VanVleet,
De'Aaron Fox as well, I believe, right?
Darren Fox. Yes.
Okay. So that's kind of showing that 2026 is going to be a crazy free
It's
agent
gonna
year.
be
Assuming that it
crazy
holds.
free agent year. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And
don't
LeBron,
forget SGA is also free agent.
I don't think he's going to leave OKC, but let's
He's not
see.
gonna leave, but yeah, he's a
He's
free
not
agent.
going to.
Yeah.
But the free agent class is essentially going to be crazy in
Yeah.
that end. So he's going to be 42 when that rolls around, I believe.
26, 41, going 42. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be 42. KD's
Mhm.
gonna be 38, I
38.
believe. Lillard's
Oof.
gonna be 36. They're old, sure, but here's the thing. uh, just allow me to be a little bit crazy right now with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if LeBron forces the Lakers to draft Bryce again with the promise that he's gonna bring KD along?
Uh,
what what if that's the case where you say, okay, you know what, I want to play with my two sons.
mhm.
Please draft Bryce James, and then I'll bring KD along with me. So I don't know how the salary's gonna work.
It's
I
it's crazy, but LeBron has that pull. He
yeah,
has that pull.
if anyone can pull it off, it's gonna be LeBron, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be him.
So
You know,
look
a
at that. So
big,
I
that's
believe
a
that
big
Rui's gonna be expiring as
the
well.
GM move right there.
I think that's look KD at 38, right? LeBron at 42, signing for probably less than what they're worth at that
Yeah.
point, right? They have AD in there,
Hmm.
and
AD's big fat $62 million contract's gonna be there.
Well,
Yeah.
well, what if that's the trigger to get Luca in there as well?
Yeah. Hmm.
What if that's triggered?
Hmm.
What if that's triggered? If the Lakers were to lure Luca, that's probably it, right?
Right.
You get to play with AD, you get LeBron,
Hmm.
and possibly KD if he decides to go join that. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, given the fact that the backlash of 2016 is probably still there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how possible that
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
for KD to take the hardest road twice,
Yeah.
or actually in this case 3 times.
Three
It's
times.
gonna
Yeah.
be oh no, actually the fourth time he's gonna be taking the hardest road,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know how possible that's gonna be, but hey man, it's fun to think about it. If you
Yeah.
I really want Luca to be a Laker.
I want Luka to be a Laker too, man.
And if the
Like,
Mavs keep messing up, if Mavs,
could be a
well,
possibility. Yeah.
that's a possibility, right?
Yeah.
So the Mavs are going all in right now, right?
Yeah.
With Kyrie and Clay and everyone that they've gotten.
Hmm.
They're, I believe they're in the market for a big trade as well, but
Hmm.
they're essentially going all in. So you have to ask, how much patience does Luca have to
Yeah.
stay there?
Hmm.
I know Mark Cuban's definitely taking care of him, but
Right.
if Luca loved Kobe too,
Yeah. Hmm.
you know. So is it a possible 2026 scenario when Luca joins the Lakers with LeBron
With
and
LeBron.
possibly KD, and
Yeah.
LeBron gets to play with his two sons?
Yeah. Everybody wins.
The ratings win.
Hopefully finally gets that ring that he's been chasing his whole career.
So after Golden State, he gets a couple more. He gets one more basically, and then he retires.
Yeah.
Well, LeBron has said that LeBron has said recently that obviously he's thinking about retirement now, which is real. He's 40.
Hmm.
He just turned 40. Happy birthday!
Yep.
But he's old. But look, his numbers are kind of suggesting that he's not yet done.
Yeah.
He said that he
Honestly,
can play
even
5 more
even
years.
even KD at 30, what, 36? Even KD's numbers are still there.
Yeah, the durability is definitely
Yeah.
gone, but the numbers are still there, right?
Yeah.
So LeBron essentially said that he thinks, and this is just to quote him, he thinks he can still play 5 to 7 more years of high level basketball. Is he serious, or is he delirious? What do you think?
Ooh. Uh, I 5 to 7 more years, so he'd be
That,
47 by the time he
yeah,
retires.
that's gonna take him to Brady age, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Brady won what? Brady retired at 45, won Super
Yep,
Bowl at 43.
43. So is LeBron James serious or delirious in saying he can play 5 to 7 more years? High level, okay?
High level.
Yeah, that's key word. That's the descriptor there. Can he still play at a high level in 5 to 7 years?
Granting that no one really knows your body more than you. I think he could be serious. Yeah,
You
yeah,
think?
yeah.
Okay. Well, look. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I've doubted LeBron in the
Yeah.
past. I've doubted him a lot. A lot. I like him as a player.
Mm.
I've been. I think he's essentially a goat, right? He's
Yeah,
he's up there with Michael.
yeah.
Him and Michael are there
Hmm.
on the same level, if not slightly
Right.
below him. But I think he's being delirious with this one, man. I think he's being delirious. You know why? You
Uh-huh.
know why? Because look, he's shown that he gets tired easily now. Right?
Mhm.
Let's break it down. So his fatigue. It's not about his skill, right? His skill is not gonna go away. I think
Mhm.
him being that kind of shooter now
Yeah, the
really opens
skill's
up
always going
a
to be
lot
there.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna stay. I believe that's gonna stay. But the problem with him at that age, especially with basketball, is that the stamina is gone.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So once his legs are gone, everything else goes with it. His
Right.
shooting,
Yeah.
His IQ is gonna stay the same. He's gonna make
It's
a
gonna kind of,
lot more.
plateau, and then it's eventually you'll see the decline.
Yeah, so we got to discuss what high level means, right?
Yeah.
Obviously,
What high
there's a
level means, and also in what capacity. Like, yeah, we play high level basketball. Definitely 82 games is gonna take a toll on your legs.
yeah,
So
and
how many
he
games are
hasn't
you
played
gonna,
82 games in a while.
No, he hasn't. Yeah.
He's not known to play 82 games in a season.
Hmm.
He's known to he's
Yeah.
known in the 70s, and recently he's been playing like 40, 50, 60 games. He's
Mhm.
not there durability wise.
Basically, yeah. What constitutes high level basketball, and then what capacity? Like how many games is he looking to play? You know, I'm pretty sure he's gonna load manage some of them, just to take, just to kind of alleviate the wear and tear. But yeah, it's definitely not gonna be 82 games. It's not gonna be a full season. I don't know how I don't know how his legs are gonna be come playoffs, if the Lakers make the playoffs, because that's another additional, what, at the most, 100, another 13, 15 more games. So yeah,
Let's talk about that. It's a
yeah,
good discussion to have, right? So, what is high level basketball?
right.
What's the definition of that? And we have to kind of juxtapose it to what LeBron James basketball is.
Mm.
So when we're talking about LeBron, his career averages are insane. He's averaging 27 points, 7.4 assists, and 7.5 rebounds a
Hmm.
game. That's the meme, right? That the
Yep.
LeBron stat line is 27, 7 and 7.
Yeah.
Right now he's 24, 7 and 9. He's actually way
Hmm.
past that. And
Right.
that's the thing, right? So
Hmm.
does high level mean that he's hovering around the mid 20s, or does high level mean he's, because if he's averaging 26, 7 and 7, that's more than league average for me.
Right.
That's more than
Hmm.
high level, right?
Hmm.
So if we look at someone, let's look at the max contracts, right? So if you talk about, let's say Luca, let's take Luca as a standard. So if
Hmm.
I go and have a look at Luca stats, he's averaging 28 points, 8 rebounds, and essentially 8 assists. That's 28, 8, 8. That's what Luca's averaging right
Hmm.
now. So is that if that's the standard we're gonna put LeBron in, then as well, then is he playing high level basketball right now? I would say yeah. I
Yeah,
would say
of
he's still
course.
playing
Hmm.
high level basketball right now. But the catch for this is that he's had 10 days of rest now. They haven't had a stretch where they've had to play a lot of games.
Hmm.
They recently played a back to back, sure, and he's look. LeBron's been playing really well even in that back to back. But
Right.
you've kind of raised the question: how much can he sustain that kind of effort within a year? Given the fact that
Yeah. Hmm.
essentially taken 10 days of rest in order to even perform at this level
To
now.
perform at this level, yeah. And I guess in the next few years, like if he's still on the roster, he's still playing. That 10 days is gonna be 2 weeks. He's gonna have those. He's gonna have those stretches where you won't see that consistent production that he's had in his younger years. So you'll see probably those stretches where he's gonna be averaging 15, 3 and 3. And then there's gonna be a stretch when he's gonna take a break. He's gonna average. He's gonna play at that high level type of basketball that he's playing, and it's gonna be like what 20, 27, 7 and 7.
Mm.
It can fluctuate. Just because of time being a factor, and how much can his body still take. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
that's gonna be the
Kobe
big question, right?
when Kobe was able, Kobe knew that like knowing Kobe, he wouldn't want to retire washed up, like, as a washed up veteran. He wanted to do it at the top of his game, but even him, and this is probably because of the Achilles, but even him knew that it was time. He couldn't, his body couldn't take the
Mm.
take the beating anymore. But I mean, thankfully and hopefully, doesn't happen. Hopefully, LeBron does not have that
Knock on
type,
wood.
a big, that type of injury, that could happen to anyone, So I guess, again, being, yeah, serious or delirious. I think he's serious, but we have to ask, like, in what capacity are you, able to, you know, to do it? How can you sustain that? Realistically, sustain that high level basketball that you want to put your body in, against.
That's right.
Yeah.
And one more thing that you have to consider is the salary that he's making, right? So
Mm-hmm.
right now he's making
30,
30% of the cap,
33%. Yeah.
33% of the salary cap, which is
Mm-hmm.
he's making 40, 50 million.
Right.
He can make more than that if he wanted
Mm-hmm.
to, but the question kind of becomes: is it worth paying that much for someone who's not gonna play? So look, he played 71 games last year, but prior
Right.
to that, he's been playing 50 games
Yeah.
at max. He's
Mm-hmm.
missing 30 plus games
Right.
in a season.
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying that kind of guy, uh, 40, $50 million of
Mm-hmm.
your cap, and
Mm-hmm.
this is not about actual value. We're talking about cap. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
talking about the salary cap here because that's essentially what the rules are with
Mm-hmm.
which you can spend on salary. So if you spend 34% of what you're allocated to spend on salary on someone who's gonna play 50 games, average
Mm-hmm.
24, let's say 24.7 rebounds and maybe
Yeah.
9 assists, is that something that it's gonna make you win more basketball games? Probably not,
No.
because you're gonna have to rely on that person if you're gonna be paying him a
Yeah.
lot. I don't care if
Mm-hmm.
it's LeBron James,
Yeah.
right? If
But
you,
anyone in general, like
yeah,
an all-star.
it's about spending the cap
Mm-hmm.
smartly, right? It's not about just
Yeah.
giving for what he brings to the game. Obviously, LeBron is value as far as
Mm-hmm.
his monetary value. It's limitless at this point, right?
Yeah.
He's the biggest brand in basketball.
Right.
He's one of the greatest players ever to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
But if you care about winning, that's probably not the best way to spend the cap. Right?
True.
Now,
Yeah.
if he decides that, hey, you know what, I can take a discount, I can take less
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
for you to bring
Mm-hmm.
more players, then yeah, I would say that that's a
Mm-hmm.
feasible thing to do. You
Yeah.
should do that.
I mean, knowing that LeBron has always, throughout his career, we know this, he's always wanted to play with an all-star alongside him, to be able to win a championship. Knowing him, do you think that he would be willing to take a pay cut to bring an all-star in, and and be able to win a championship at his age?
That's kind of the question, right? Because the
Yeah.
last time he actually took a significant pay cut was in 2010 when the Heatles
With
formed.
the Heat. Yeah.
Yeah, so how they made that deal happen was they all took pay cuts. But all three of them took
All
pay
three of them,
cuts
yeah.
in order for them to fit
Mhm.
under the cap, and look what happened there.
Yeah.
So possibly, I think. Look, I don't know if he's gonna do that. I hope he does. Look,
Mhm.
in 2026, if that actually becomes true, what we just discussed earlier,
Right.
when he gets, and the Lakers have their first round draft pick in 2026, by the way, because they
Yeah.
cannot
It's
trade
not.
that,
It's not.
right?
It's not a swap. It's not a pick swap.
Yeah, they can trade their 2020. They can use their
You can use
2026
it.
pick, and if Bryce James is that good,
Mhm.
and if it gets them LeBron and whoever else wants to come at that point, and maybe hopefully LeBron at a discount, yo, you go for that. You
Yeah.
gotta go for that. Okay,
Yep.
so uh, that's kind of where he is right now. He's this anomaly that you gotta cater for because he's just that
Mhm.
good, and he raises the floor of your basketball team.
Right.
So, yeah, you're right. He's definitely serious in talking about it, but there's a little bit of deliriousness as well. And that
Yeah.
I think I think he's just. I mean, look, LeBron has been known to just say things is not true that are not true.
Not
But
one, not five, not six, not 7, not 8.
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
But Look, as a Laker fan, sure, I hope for him to do it here. I hope him to
Yeah.
do it in the Lakers, and
Yep.
let's see. I mean, look, he has indicated that he wants to stay with the Lakers,
Hmm.
and again, he has a no trade clause anyway. So any
Yep.
trade that involves him has to be signed off by him.
Right.
But look, we're kind of lucky as Laker fans that we're not getting trade drama right now as far as superstars forcing trade because
Yeah.
Miami's
Yeah.
got
No.
it bad. Miami's got it
Miami's got
bad
it
right
bad.
now.
Sacramento's got it. So,
So De'Aaron Fox is, he's kind of. People are saying that Mike Brown got fired because of De'Aaron Fox because they kind of clashed. And uh, and on a side note, I hope that Jimmy Alapag stays on with the Kings. So
oh yeah.
yeah, he's a
The mighty
player
Mouse.
development coach in there
Yeah.
under Mike Brown. So
Under McBrown.
I hope that Jimmy keeps his job. So
The thing with
obviously,
the Kings is they've had what, seven coaches in what, in how many years, right?
I don't
Or
even want to
something.
count. It's been
Yeah,
bad. It's been bad.
yeah.
So look, the way they handled that firing is horrible,
It
right?
was
So
bad. It was bad the way they handled it. Yeah,
yeah. So Mike Brown was just finished practice. They were boarding the plane, and they gave him a call to say he's fired. Come on,
yeah,
man, you got to do better than that. But it's the King, so what do you expect?
yeah, yeah.
But again, I hope that Jimmy's safe. I hope he
Hmm.
gets a continuous coaching career in the NBA. Obviously, we're biased Filipino fans, so
Right.
Jimmy's a legend.
Jimmy is
So
one of the
I hope he
greatest
stays on.
Filipino point guards.
He's up there. He's definitely up there.
He's
And
up
I
there.
want to talk about this eventually in a future episode,
Yeah,
right? So we talk about the PBA,
yeah.
the Philippine Basketball Association. I got some thoughts on that, but
Right.
as- apart from Sacramento, who's having drama, Miami's having a lot of drama
Ooh.
right now. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. So
Like Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler has officially
Yep.
requested a trade,
Trade. Yep.
and he's been suspended by the Miami Heat for 7 games
Hmm.
while they look for a partner. So
Right.
let's have a look at this real quick. So it started when Shams Charania kind of tweeted where
Mhm.
this was a rumor back then where he mentioned that Jimmy wants out of Miami.
Right.
And then there was a lot of drama with this because I believe that Jimmy's agent kind of clapped back publicly saying, "Oh, Shams, you're a liar, blah blah blah. It's not true." But look, man, it's all true now.
Yeah. Yep.
It's all true now. The Heat are actively trying to find places to trade Jimmy.
Right.
So the problem with this is obviously rooted in money because
Right.
Jimmy has a player option for next year
Hmm.
for I believe $50 million. Jeez.
Yeah.
And the Miami Heat didn't extend him, and that's
Right.
what it is. So this is all Jimmy wanting
So it's not
a
even
max contract.
it's not even basketball. It's money.
It's definitely money. It's 100%
Yeah.
money, right? And he's 35 years old. This is probably his last big contract.
Hmm.
I don't think that he should be paid a max. Look at Philly
No.
with Paul George.
Paul
right?
George,
Look
yeah.
at Philly with Paul George. That's
Yeah.
what's Jimmy's gonna end up being.
Yeah.
So Miami did the smart thing cap wise by not
Mhm.
paying Jimmy, but they also kind of backed themselves in the corner now because they have to trade him, and people know they're desperate.
Yep.
So they're gonna get pennies on the dollar. This is kind of the conundrum when it comes to these aging stars
Mhm.
and how you handle their contract situations, which makes me happy to be a Laker fan because if you're a Laker fan, you know that the Lakers will take care of the stars, right?
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah.
gave Kobe that horrible contract, even though he was on one leg. That was a horrible
Yeah.
contract, but
Mhm.
he completely earned it.
Yeah.
He's a legend. That's fine.
Yeah.
And LeBron is kind of getting the same treatment in a way.
Hmm.
Lakers take care of their stars, and Miami just showed that they don't.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy essentially is a 35-year-old player who wants a max contract, most likely, which is, dude, that's just not feasible. You don't want to be in that situation.
No.
And he's
man.
going up against the Godfather, Pat Riley.
Yeah.
How do you think that's gonna end up?
Um, I wouldn't. Let's just put it this way. I wouldn't want to mess with Pat Riley. You know,
He looks scary, man.
the guy's still like the guy's still as feisty as ever, and you know, like he's he's not gonna take shit from anyone. That's pretty much how it's gonna
No,
be. You know, he's gonna trade. He's gonna find he's gonna find a team that's gonna want Jimmy Butler. That's for sure. But you j- yeah, like you mentioned, that an aging player wanting a max contract. I think that kind of puts other teams in this dilemma, I guess, so to speak, because how do you manage that? Like, how do you manage 35 years old? I don't know about his player progression, his statistics right now.
he's been good. He's on my fantasy
He's
team, and
he's
when
still
he's
been
on,
pretty
he's
good,
good.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I guess he can he can go to a team and still provide them 20 something points, and a two-way threat, you
yeah,
know.
that's a legitimate two-way threat.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you remember the 2020 finals, right? He essentially carried
Oh yeah.
that team, right? He's
Mhm.
the reason why they even won one game.
Yeah.
But do I think he's worth a max at 37, 38? Of course not.
Nah.
No, 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 that's
No.
not even a question.
No.
No. But if you're desperate enough, you have to do it.
Yeah.
And there are teams that are desperate enough to
Mhm.
want to do this.
Right.
Number one on my list is the Warriors. It's
Warriors. Yeah.
definitely crazy, but
Yep.
look, they have some tradable assets, right? They have Kaminga, you have Bujemski, right? They have
Right.
some tradable assets that they can play with if they want to go this route.
Mm.
Look, Curry's 36 now. He's old as well. He's not got a lot of time left,
Yeah.
and him and Draymond are essentially just the Warriors are bad right now. I believe they're 10th or 11th in the West,
Yeah.
so
They're
they're not
bad.
really playing well. They're really bad, and
Mhm.
Jimmy can help them,
Yeah.
right? They have to get rid of Wiggins and Kuminga for this, but
True.
that that gives them a little bit more chance. Should they do it? Probably not.
Mhm.
But Warriors are going to be desperate enough to, or crazy enough to do this. And you
Yeah.
also have, I believe the Nuggets are looking for upgrades as well. And this is the thing.
Denver, yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah,
the three teams we have the Warriors, and then Denver, and then I think Phoenix is looking for an upgrade.
Phoenix. Look,
Yeah.
if there's you also have the Mavs are desperate enough to do something right now,
Yep.
right? So Lucas injured, and obviously we kind of talked about the possibility of him being a free agent in 2026.
Right.
So they're in the clock. They're on the clock right now to make
Yeah.
Luca happy. They got to make some moves.
Mhm.
There's gonna be some teams that are gonna be very desperate enough to make this horrible move to just screw the future and
Yeah.
pay Jimmy Butler max
Yeah.
at 37.
Yeah.
You, that's gonna be an exciting league if you ask me.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun to watch to see. Look, to see Jimmy Butler being coached by Steve Kerr. See what happens with that. That's gonna be funny.
Yep.
And if you Jimmy Butler and Russell Westbrook on the same team, that's gonna be fun, right? And obviously you got Kyrie and Jamie on the same team as well.
Mm.
That's gonna be really fun to watch.
Yeah. I think they read like if Jimmy were to go to Denver, the possible pieces that they're gonna move could
Porter.
be Michael Porter and Jamal
Yeah.
Murray.
Look,
I'm not sure about that.
well, if I'm the Heat, well, Porter Jr. is definitely gonna be there because he's
Yeah.
one of the bad contracts that the
Right.
Nuggets.
Very tradable.
Well, these are the
Yeah.
tradable ones that they can have, right?
Yeah.
So we trade him, and obviously Jamal Murray's been horrible this year.
Yes,
He's
no,
been
yeah.
underperforming.
That's the thing. Yeah.
He's on a max
Forgot
too.
about that, Yeah. Mhm.
So he's underperforming. He's definitely not. He's way past. He's not playing the Lakers every day, so he's not really
Yeah.
putting up the numbers.
Yeah.
So, do you trade Michael Porter for him? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's a no brainer right there.
Right.
But do the Heat want that? That's
Yeah.
the thing, right? So what do the Heat want? I think MPJ can be good for them, but is it worth what you're losing in Jimmy? I don't know. So, but the thing is, Jimmy's on his way out.
Yeah.
He essentially look. I mentioned Jimmy's on my fantasy team, right? And I was really pissed yesterday because
Oh.
of how he performed. He essentially checked out.
Yeah.
There was this. Did you see the one play where he had an open three? Sorry, he had an open layup, He had an open layup inside the key. He passed off. He went back to the 3-point line, did a pump fake, passed it off to his teammate as time expired in the shot clock.
Oh,
Dude doesn't want to play.
Yeah, he doesn't want to
Dude
play.
hates it.
Yeah.
I think that's why he got
I saw
suspended,
this
right?
one clip
Because
where he was on the layup line. He was just like he wasn't there. His mind
he's checked
was
out.
he's not there.
Jimmy's
Yeah.
checked out. I think he's
Yeah.
the kind of guy where he's already given his 2-week notice.
Yeah.
And he's just waiting for the days to actually leave. He's gone. I think he's mentally checked out of the team. And
Right.
the thing is, he said it on the press conference.
Mhm.
He was asked the question, "Are you happy? Are you happy?" He said, he said he's happy in Miami off the court,
Yeah.
but then he needs to find a joy in basketball again. It's not here. I was like, oh, he's
Yeah.
publicly said that he's gone. He's checked
Yeah.
out. So it's a messy divorce. I think that you can have that thought where Miami did the right thing by not extending him, but
Mhm.
if you look at the Lakers where they've treated their stars properly,
Yep.
that's how they get stars in the future. Now,
Right.
if you're a free agent, would you like to go to Miami, knowing that they're not going to take care of you
No.
eventually?
No way.
Look, man, Pat Riley screwed Jane Wade.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
right the first time he left him out to dry, and
Yeah.
Pat Riley's just straight up ruthless, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're a player, is that a situation you want to be in?
No. Mhm.
That's going to be the question, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but yeah, let's see what happens with this. And
Mhm.
I think that look, we have a month before the trade deadline, so Jimmy's definitely gonna be out by then.
He's gonna be out
And
later. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, for Miami's sake, I hope they get a good haul.
Right. Mhm.
Speaking of haul, we got a haul last to get out of here, so that's it. Now we got stuff to plan, so we still got the what ifs that we want to do,
Right.
and we want to talk about the NBA rating spot downfall.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of thoughts on that.
Mhm.
And as I mentioned, let's talk about Philippine basketball for once.
Right.
We're Filipinos, we gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
And yeah. So see you next week. Thanks
Cool.
you guys. Thanks
Yeah.
for tuning in.
All right.
And yeah.
Don't
See you on the
forget
flip side.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Cheers. See you on the
All right.
flip side.
See ya.
Bye.